Troy Franklin is what the model would do.
Yes. Love it.
But I didn't love his film.
Trust the model.
I didn't love it in the
Trust the model.
while watching.
Trust
I
the
didn't
model.
love it. I didn't love it.
Trust the model.
And then hedge with Jermaine Burton later.
Hey, I mean,
I'm going to come out of, if I'm the Bills, I'm coming out of this with Troy Franklin and Jermaine Burton.
Buffalo has 11 draft picks. 3 of them should be spent on receivers, including this first rounder.
All right. I mean, it's got to be that. Anywhere else that you would go, it's got to be a receiver.
No, it has to be. I mean, if they don't trade for a receiver using this pick, they have to take one with this pick. And again, indeed, come back and do it again 2 or 3 more times.
A lot of rumors that they're going to trade up. I don't know for whom.
Trading up, I think, would be a terrible idea. Yeah. I would rather trade the pick for somebody in the NFL.
Not all the way up, like into the top 10.
Trading up, period, would be a mistake.
You posted that recently. The Julio trade was from, 26 to 6? 28 to 6? 27.
26. Was it 27? No, 27 to number 6 overall.
And they gave up a lot.
Yes.
Now, I know in hindsight, because the Browns didn't do well with those actual picks.
Right.
It's like, of course they won the Julio trade, but if the picks went a different way, the Browns should have had 5 starters, at least 5 potential starters.
You can't judge it versus what Cleveland got out of the trade at the end of it all. You have to judge it by what is the average return for
the Bills aren't. They're not doing that. They're not trading up into the top 10. If they traded up, it would be like, I think, to 15 or 16 to get Brian Thomas Jr.
Which I think would be crazy.
Yeah, I know you would. Anyway.
But anybody, even if you were, forget Brian Thomas Jr., if wide receiver 4 was anybody else and they were ranked, like this year, of all years, sit at 28, grab whoever the top receiver is on the board, the chances are he's as good as the guy that was drafted 15 or whatever. Anyway, the only gap in terms of tiers in this draft is that top 3, and you shouldn't go after the top 3 because it would cost you so much to do that he basically has to be Julio Jones for it to even be close to working out on your side. So just sit where you are, accept the hole you've dug yourself, draft the next guy, and then draft 2 more later on in the draft and assume that one of them is going to be good, right? One of them will be Dontavian Wicks, and that's fine. As long as you nailed one of them, it doesn't matter if he was your first rounder, your third rounder, or your 6th rounder. Just one of them needs to be good. That's it.
I know people that watch the show will know that we're a little bit lower on Brian Thomas Jr. than others. I would just say I am less inclined to draft him if I don't have a 1 and a 2, a 1 in particular, already there, right? If Stephon Diggs was still on the roster.
If he was your Gabe Davis replacement, fine.
Yeah, if Stephon Diggs was still on the roster, I might take Brian Thomas Jr. right here. And then you say, okay, Curtis Samuel is your slot, and you got Shakir, and you have this depth, and Brian Thomas Jr. can be your deep threat. I feel not good about him being a number 1 type of option. I like him as your designated deep guy.
Right.
Like Detroit, who already has a bunch of those guys. I'm saying, like, I'd feel much better about Detroit, the next pick, taking him, or Kansas City, or anyone else. So I'm not doing that with Buffalo. Not that Troy Franklin's going to be your 1, but I know you think he can be.
He can be, I think. I have more confidence in Troy Franklin being your 1 than Brian Thomas Jr. anyway.
I'm trusting the model. I don't see what the chat's saying. They're probably upset. Upset. Troy Franklin.
Give me 3 receivers. Give me 3 receivers you're going to draft for Buffalo. They've got
I promise you, I'll take Jermaine Burton in the 4th.
Okay.
If he's still there in the 4th.
You've got 2 4th rounders. So after that, you've got 3 5th rounders, 2 6th, and a 7th. So give me 1 more receiver.
Jacob Cowing.
Perfect.
I'm taking Jacob Cowing from Arizona.
Yep.
Because 2 people have said he's Deshaun Jackson. So that's enough for me.
All right. So
like 2 actual evaluators, not like my sister.
We got Troy Franklin, Jermaine Burton, and Jacob
So
Cowing.
that's what you're doing for Bills fans, right? That's what's going to happen later. We're going to take Jermaine Burton. We're going to get him in the building. We're going to get him in the building.
We definitely need him in the building.
See what he can do.
In order for him to be a player.
And then Jacob Cowing later to go with Troy Franklin.
Done.
So we have a model guy, trust the data. We have a high upside play, character risk in Burton.
Yep.
And then we have a high upside play in Cowing because 2 people said he's Deshaun Jackson. Therefore, if he becomes Deshaun Jackson, Josh Allen will win a Super Bowl in Buffalo.
That's all we need.